We have the word churlish, which is an adjective. Okay. Dismayed by his churlish manners at the party, the girls vowed to never to invite him again. Okay, so they were dismayed by his churlish manners. Yeah, so they vowed never to invite him again. Why would they vow never to invite him again? Because they were upset. Yes, they were shocked by his churlish manners. So obviously bad manners. Yes, they invited me to dinner, and I thought, right? So they had invited me, so I thought it would be churlish to refuse, right? So it would be bad mannered, ill mannered, it would be rude. Yes, so rude, unfriendly, or unpleasant would be the meaning of churlish. So boorish or insolent. Insolent is arrogant. Yes, so rude again, right? Rudely arrogant, you could say. Yes, courteous or well mannered would be antonyms. Okay, we have the word irascible. Irascible is a negative word, an adjective, all right, and it means easily angered. Okay, so I took care to provoke his temper because I knew he was irascible, right? So I took care to provoke. So if I wanted to create trouble, yes, now I knew that he was irascible, so I made sure, right, or I took care to make sure that he got angry. Yes, she's becoming more and more irascible as she grows older, right? So again, it is a cliche, a bit of a stereotype, right? But the implication is that as one grows older, one grows rather irritable, easily angered. Yes. So irritable or cantankerous would be synonyms. Easygoing or tolerant would be antonyms. Okay. We have the word languid. Languid is an adjective. Yes. Languid is a word that I at least associate with summer, right? Because in the heat, right, we tend to feel very, very lethargic. Yes, we tend to not want to do anything. Yes, just lie around, right? Preferably under the fan in the AC, wherever we can get some sort of relief from the heat. Yes, so her siege of illness left her languid and pallid. Pallid is pale. Okay, so it left her languid. So it's a siege of illness, meaning an attack. Yes, so probably something that lasted, because siege generally refers to an attack that lasts for a long time. Yes, so or how would that make a person feel? It would make the person feel lethargic, tired, right, and pale. So moving or speaking slowly with little energy, often in an it should be an unattractive way. All right, weary is tired. Yes, so that's the meaning of languid. Sluggish or listless would be synonyms. Energetic or vivid would be antonyms. All right, we have here the word livid. Yes, now his face was so livid with rage, right? So it was livid with rage. Rage is anger, extreme anger, that we were afraid that he might have an attack of apoplexy, right? Apoplexy is like a stroke or the fits. Yes, so his face was so livid with rage, meaning flushed with rage, right? That's the idea. So lead colored, black and blue, extremely angry. Okay, the blood rushes to the face, the face becomes almost purple. Yes, that's the idea. He was livid when he found out the truth, right? So when he found out the truth, so he thought something else, but when he found out the truth, how did he feel? He was livid, meaning he was extremely angry. Yes, so livid can mean angry itself, or it can mean to turn lead colored or black and blue with a particular emotion, generally anger. Yes, so ashen or enraged would be synonyms. Ashen is again actually pale, right? Turning a sort of gray color. Yes, enraged, of course, is angry, right? That's the second meaning. Okay, we have here the word malediction. Malediction has the root word mal, yes, and the other root word dict. Now, mal is the opposite of ben. Ben is good, mal is bad, evil, wrong. Yes, bad or evil or wrong. Dict means word or to speak or to say, right? So if you put the meanings together, it means to speak bad words or to say bad words. Yes, which is literally curse. So benediction is a blessing and malediction is a curse. Yes, there's a movie also by that name, isn't it? A Disney movie by that name. So that's the implication. The beggar was uttering maledictions against the car owner for not giving him alms. Alms are the money or whatever we give to a beggar, right? That's known as alms, something that is given in charity. right? So the beggar was uttering maledictions, meaning the beggar was cursing the car owner for not giving him alms. Yes. So anathema, which is something which is completely opposed to or against, or a denunciation, would be synonyms. Blessing or benediction would be antonyms. Okay. We have the word mangy. Mangy is a word that is very often used to describe a dog, right? Or any animal which is, basically animals have the fur, right? So that's why the word mangy comes about, because mangy comes from the word mange, which is a kind of disease which affects animals especially and leaves them with patches of no fur. Yes. So we finally threw out the mangy rug that the dog had destroyed, right? So while there is a dog mentioned here, it is not the dog that is mangy, it is the rug that is mangy, right? So the rug also has fibers that sort of stand out, right? So the dog would have destroyed it, meaning the dog would have torn into it and left patches without the fibers, right? So that's why the rug is being described, the carpet is being described as mangy. Yes. So something that is old and dirty, right? A rug, and has been used a lot. In this case, the dog would have torn it. Yes. Or wretched. Wretched is miserable. Yes. So shabby or abject, which is another word for miserable, yes, would be synonyms. Sophisticated or suave. Suave is polished. Sophisticated also, right? Polished, refined, right? So they can, even refined, polished would be antonyms for this word. Okay, we have here the word melancholy. Melancholy is an adjective. It is a negative word, right? It's a feeling of sadness, yes, and of being without hope or gloomy. Okay, so how is it used? I snapped out of the melancholy caused by the death of my pet. So, how would I feel if my pet had died? I would feel extremely sad, right? And almost without hope. So, I snapped out of that melancholy caused by the death of my pet the moment my best friend arrived, right? So, my best friend came to cheer me up. Sometimes good poems, okay, are produced in a melancholy mood. Keats was one such poet, right? So good poems are produced in a melancholy mood, in a sad, gloomy mood, right? So morose, blue, or dejection would be synonyms. Cheerful, happy, elation. Elation is an extreme state of extreme happiness, right? Or merriment would be antonyms. Okay. We have here the word menial. Menial is an adjective. I don't regard this task as menial, right? So look at what is being described as menial, the task, or beneath my dignity. Okay. So I don't consider it, I don't regard it, menial or beneath my dignity just because it involves hard labor. Okay. So the implication is that of work that is boring, tiring, and given a low social value. Okay. It is fairly menial work, such as washing dishes and cleaning floors. Yes. So this again can be used in the context of suitable for servants, or mean. Mean not in the sense of nasty, but mean more in the sense of something that doesn't have much social value. Right. So that is the mean that is used in this sense. Okay. So servile or lowly would be synonyms. Okay, we have the word modish. It's pronounced modish actually and not modish because it comes from the word mode. And what is mode? It comes from the French expression a la mode. A la mode is in the mode, meaning in fashion. Yes, so modish is fashionable. She always discarded all the garments that were no longer modish, right? So imagine she discarded, she threw away anything that was no longer fashionable. Yes, so stylish would be a synonym. Okay, we have the word motif. It's pronounced motif. Yes. Now, it comes from the word, in this context, it comes from the word leitmotif. Yes. It can also be used to refer to a design that is there on a piece of cloth, right? Or on a dress as such, something that is embroidered or something that is printed. Yeah, it is used in that sense. The Canadian winter is the motif of many Franz Thompson's winter pictures. Okay, so the Canadian winter is the motif of many of Franz Thompson's winter pictures, meaning it is something that is common, right? A pattern that we find in all his winter pictures. Yes, the motif of betrayal and loss is crucial in all these stories. Yes, so here it refers to, so the Canadian winter, right? In both the context, as you can see, it is something that is intangible, right? So when we talk about a design, yes, on a cloth, then it is something that we can see and feel and touch, right? But when we talk about movies, poems, books, right, and a recurring pattern in them, then we are talking about something intangible. Yes, so a pattern or a design or an idea, that is the intangible, that is used many times in a piece of writing or music or a theme. Yes, concept or pattern would be synonyms. Muddle is a verb. All right, so it can be used as either a verb or a noun. So as you can see here, if you look at the meanings, we have both the meanings there, the verb meaning and the noun meaning. All right, so the first one, an untidy or confused state, right? So if it is a state, yes, a state of affairs, a situation, yes, so then it is the noun meaning, and mix up is the verb meaning. All right, so it can be used in either way. Okay, now what are synonyms? Synonyms would be confuse or miss. All right, now how is it used? Her thoughts were muddled and chaotic. All right, now in this situation, in this sentence, it is used as an adjective, right? Because it is describing her thoughts. Yes, how were her thoughts? Her thoughts were muddled and chaotic. Yes, so if they were muddled and chaotic, they were confused, they were mixed up and chaotic. All right, whenever I go abroad, I get in a muddle. Yes, so because it is a muddle, all right, it is being used as a noun here. Whenever I go abroad, I get in a muddle about or over the money. Okay, so that would be an untidy or confused state. Untidy in the sense, a lack of order or ordering of thoughts in the mind, right? So it is in that sense, right? So yes, this is how the word muddle is used. Okay, it is also used in the context of cooking, actually, when you make some sort of what do you say, even a smoothie for that matter, right? Though we talk about putting everything in the mixie and just running it. Yes, so when fruits or vegetables are just put in a vessel, right, and we use a wooden spoon or something to just sort of break it up a little bit, crush it a little bit, right? That's also known as muddling. Right, so basically, as you can see, the theme is the same. Yes, whether it's a verb, noun, an adjective, in whatever way, the idea is to sort of mix up things and make it look a little messy as such, right? So that is how the word muddle is used. Okay, we have the word natty. Yes, natty is an adjective, all right, used generally in the context of a person's appearance. Okay, so let's start with the sentence here. Priding himself on being a natty dresser. Okay, dresser as in the way a person dresses. Yes, so dresser. Robin collected a wardrobe of imported suits and ties. Okay, so as you can see here, if Robin collected a wardrobe, meaning an entire collection of imported suits and ties, right? The implication here is that he chose good things, right? Some of the best. Yes, so it is in that sense. So in that case, what kind of dresser would be a natty dresser? A natty dresser would be a person who's well dressed. All right. Now, the second sentence is he's always been a natty dresser. Okay, so it is mostly used, as I said, in the sense of the appearance, right? So what is the meaning? It is stylish and tidy in every detail, neatly or smartly dressed. Yes. Now an antonym for this. Yes. So more than this, if you want a synonym, I suppose one of the closest ones would be suave or sophisticated, right? Though that they are not exact synonyms, which is why they are not here. Yes. But an antonym would definitely be shabby. Yes. Because if a person is nattily dressed, meaning well dressed, neatly, tidily dressed, yes, stylishly dressed, the opposite would be shabby, where the person is not properly groomed, yes, is not wearing matching clothes, that kind of thing, right? So that's the idea. Okay, we have here the word niggardly. Now, niggardly is a negative word. Yes, so let's take a look at the sentence first. I don't mind spending money. I don't want to seem niggardly. Okay, so I don't mind spending money. Okay, meaning I'm okay with it, right? I would want to spend money, especially because I don't want to seem niggardly. Yes, because if I don't spend money, how will I look? Or how will I come across? I will come across as niggardly, meaning I'm holding on to my money. And what is that? Miserly or stingy. Yes. So niggardly, if we are talking about a person, it would be meanly stingy. Okay. So this is the second meaning, is when we describe a person. Slight in amount, quality, or effort refers to a thing. Yes. So you could say, he gave me a niggardly amount. That would be a small amount. Yes. Or it is a niggardly effort. Yes. So that is how we would use it if it is describing an effort or the quality or amount of something. All right. Synonyms would be parsimonious or miserly, both of which mean stingy. Okay. And antonyms would, of course, be generous or liberal. Okay. All right, we have here another word, oaf, which is again negative. Okay, it is a noun, right? So oaf is a noun. Let's take a look at the sentence first. Watch what you're doing, you clumsy oaf. Bittu shouted at the waiter, who, what did the waiter do? The waiter had drenched him with iced coffee. Yes. So if a waiter had drenched him, right, poured iced coffee all over him, all right, Bittu would obviously be angry with the person. Yes. And he would not be complimenting him. Yes. So that we get from the word clumsy anyway. Yes. Clumsy is a person who is very awkward, right? Tends to drop things, so on and so forth. Yes. So he calls him a clumsy oaf. All right. So it's definitely not a compliment. So oaf is a stupid, rude, or awkward person, especially a man, right? It is generally used to describe a man. Yes. So that is the meaning of the word oaf. Okay. So loud, right, would be a word that comes in the general, window of things, you could say, right? But it is not an exact synonym. All right. We have the word occult. Yes. Now, occult is a noun. All right. Let's take a look at the sentences first. The occult rights of the organization were revealed only to members. Okay. So the occult rights, please note the spelling of the word rights. Yes, RITE, rights refers to traditions. Yes, the customs. Okay. So the occult rights of the organization, right? So certain customs, certain traditions followed by the organization were revealed only to members. Yes. But the occult rights, so something that is secretive, right? So we get that meaning from this sentence. She claims to have occult powers given to her by some mysterious spirit. Okay, so here it's slightly different. Yes, so she claims to have occult powers given to her by some mysterious spirit. So again, secretive, mysterious, something that is not easily understood. Yes, so also approaching magic. Yes, so occult is used in that context. So it refers to anything relating to magical powers and activities, such as those of witchcraft and astrology, right? Most often used in the context of witchcraft. All right. So secret, mysterious, supernatural would all be synonyms, and evident meaning obvious, right? Which is sort of the opposite of secretive. Yes. So evident or worldly would be antonyms. Okay, we have the word painstaking. Painstaking is an adjective. Yes. Let's take a look at the sentence. The new high frequency word list is the result of, okay, so it's a new high frequency word list. Yes. And it is the result of painstaking efforts on the part of our research staff. All right. So they have a new list, yes, a new word list, and it is a result of painstaking efforts on the part of our research staff, meaning they have put in a lot of effort, a lot of hard work. Yes, it took months of painstaking research to write the book. All right, so it took a months of painstaking research. Yes, something into which a lot of effort and hard work has been put. All right. So painstaking is extremely careful and correct and using a lot of effort, showing hard work and or taking great care. Yes. Synonyms would be careful or particular, and antonyms would be careless or slapdash. Slapdash is, when you literally sort of slap things together. That is, you don't even bother stacking them properly. Yes, you just sort of put them together roughly. Right. So it is in that sense that the word slapdash is used. So that would be the antonym. Okay, we have the word palpable. Palpable is an adjective. So let's start with the sentences. I cannot understand how you could overlook, okay, how you could overlook, ignore such a palpable blunder. Blunder is a mistake, right? So I cannot understand how you could ignore, right, such a palpable blunder, meaning a mistake that is, how do you ignore it, or how do you not see it, right? Meaning it is that evident, it is that obvious. All right. Her joy was palpable. Okay, meaning her joy was something that was very, very evident, that could be seen very easily. Okay, so obvious that it can be easily seen or known. That is when we generally describe a feeling, use it to describe a feeling so strong that it seems as if it can be touched or physically felt, easily perceptible, right? Joy is actually something that is intangible, right? Something that we cannot actually physically see or feel or touch. But when you say that her joy was palpable, meaning the joy was, it was so obvious, right? It was so evident that it felt as if we could actually physically see or feel or touch it. Yes. So obvious, evident, tangible would all be synonyms. Okay, we have here the word pedagogue. Now, this word is a noun. All right, it is, while it can be a neutral word in terms of, see, let's say pedagogy. Okay, which is another version of the same word, right? And again, a noun. So when we talk about pedagogy, it's a neutral word, right? Because it refers to the method of teaching. Okay, but when it is used as pedagogue, all right, let's see how it is used. He could never be a stuffy pedagogue. Okay, his classes were always lively and filled with humor. Okay, so if his classes were lively and filled with humor, and we say he could never be a stuffy pedagogue, right? So even the word stuffy should be a clue, right? Because stuffy is a negative word, so that itself gives us a clue that the word pedagogue is a negative one. Yes, stuffy is boring. Okay, so he could never be that. Why? Because his classes were always lively and filled with humor. Okay, so a pedagogue obviously is a person whose classes are the exact opposite, never lively and never filled with humor. Okay, the teacher of Hindi is a pedagogue, and I feel sleepy in the classroom, right? So as you can see, the theme here is that it is somebody who is boring, right? Dull. Yes, so especially a teacher who gives too much attention to formal rules and is not interesting, right? Because pedagogy is the method of teaching. So a pedagogue is a person who's only interested in the methodology, right? Is not really interested in making it interesting for the students. Okay, so instructor, dominion, pedant. Okay, pedant is more specifically a scholar, right, who is again very fixated on the rules. Yes, but yes, they all fall under the general category. Okay, usher. Yes, an opposite would be pupil, because a pedagogue is a teacher, so the antonym would be pupil. The next word is perjury. Yes, now perjury is a noun, right? And it is a word that is used largely in the context of law. Okay, when a witness under oath, as you can see, makes a deliberately false statement. Okay, makes, so somebody who's under oath, yes, that person is supposed to tell the truth. When such a person makes a deliberately, intentionally false statement, he is liable to be convicted of perjury, right? So when the person makes a false statement on purpose after taking oath in court, yes, that person can be, especially if he's found out, he or she is found out, right, can be convicted of perjury. Okay, she was sentenced to 2 years jail for committing perjury, right? So as you can see, that's the context. So it is false testimony while under oath, testimony as in evidence. Okay, so dishonesty or falsehood would be synonyms, and the truth would be an antonym. Okay, we have here the word plummet. Plummet is a verb. Okay, so to fall very quickly and suddenly. Yes, you may have noticed birds doing that sometimes, right? So it is, of course, birds do it on purpose. Yes, unless, of course, if they've been wounded or something. But yes, sometimes they fall sharply, right? They fly sharply on, towards the ground, generally when they have noticed some prey somewhere, right? But yes, you can talk about a kite, right? So she fell from the top of the slide and plummeted to the ground, right? So fell sharply. House prices have plummeted in recent months. So here, as you can see, we're not talking about a physical fall, but we're talking about house prices. So a steep fall, right? A steep decrease, a sudden decrease is that's how it is used in the second sentence.